Okay, I'll quit. Good afternoon and welcome to Injustice Investigations. I'm your host, Alphonso Scott. We have a lot to cover today. Good afternoon, California. Thank you kindly. Thank you kindly. Thank you kindly. I humbly bow to you. We have a lot to cover today. The takedown of R.Kelly continues. And there are several new developments in the R.Kelly case. Mike Wells, another faithful girl. Good afternoon, Mike Wells. Thank you so much. Joanne Oliver, I bow to you. Thank all of you kindly for tuning in to the show. Each one of you, you're always here, and I gratefully appreciate that. Thank you so much. I have a lot right here. You see, these are notes. These are notes, and all but 2 pages are about R. Kelly. The rest about R. Kelly is in this file. It's a lot. By the time I get through with that, the trial will be over. I want to say this before we get off into the takedown of R. Kelly. Michael Jackson died on June the 25th, 2009. Paramedics was called to his residence. He had taken ill, was taken to a hospital. A short time later, he was pronounced deceased. Good afternoon, Shirley. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you kindly. Now, I said that to say this. I never believe and will never do a one-sided show. A girl contacted me about 3 weeks ago. She sent me a whole book of things that had happened to somebody in her family and asked me to investigate it. I emailed her back and I asked her to send me some contact information on her. She asked, why? What do you need? I respond back, I don't need a damn thing. You need me. You contacted me. Well, I sent you everything you need. I said, maybe and maybe not. I said, but I need to speak with you to find out where you got your information from and where you're trying to go with this. Well, she didn't like that idea. And I said, of course, I have to call the people that you are accusing did this. Why you have to speak with them? Oh, I don't know, just in case you telling a damn lie, you know. If you do a story, a one-sided story, and you only report what someone says happened to them, you're not being fair. You have to at least give the other person or company an opportunity to respond to. And if they don't, then they don't. But you make sure that you keep a digital trail saying that we tried to get in contact with them, all to no avail. But now if you run that story and you hadn't spoken with the other side, you might wind up making yourself look super stupid. Oprah. If I had any respect for Oprah, and I did, it's all gone. Michael Jackson is dead. I'm going to say it again. Michael Jackson is dead. Oprah interviewed 2 of Michael Jackson's alleged victims. Now, the problem I have with that is that it's either going to be A, we believe them, or B, we don't. Because we sure as hell can't ask Michael Jackson a damn thing because Michael Jackson is dead. Good afternoon, Rose. Thanks for tuning in. Rose, thanks for tuning in. We can't ask Michael Jackson anything because Michael's dead. And I think that was totally unfair to do that to Michael Jackson. Now we have the Michael Jackson campaign going. The largest children's museum just removed Michael Jackson's famous hat and gloves from their facility because of the alleged allegations by these 2 white guys that we cannot prove. We cannot prove a damn thing they said. But you're going to take all of Michael Jackson's items down based on an accusation that cannot be proven right now. Well, since you're doing that, and I'm sure he did, I think you should return the money that he donated to you. That should be returned to his family. If you're going to do it right, do it right. Thank you. If you're going to do it right, you got to do it right. One guy shows Oprah a wedding ring that Michael Jackson bought him for their fake marriage. Well, if that would be the case, then I wonder why in the hell does he still have it? And why was he smiling when he showed it to her? Now, mind you, I didn't watch it. I'm talking about bits and pieces that were shown to the public. I had no desire to watch it whatsoever, and I never will. Because Michael Jackson is dead, he cannot defend himself right now. Oprah said, well, it gives people a platform that has had things done to them to speak out. And I'm paraphrasing what she said. Well, okay, I can understand that, but in this case, that's a damn lie. You went to Michael Jackson's house, I think twice. Yeah. Again, Michael Jackson died in 2009. But here's the thing. Oprah is good friends with Freak-a-Leak, Harvey Weinstein. He has over 80 women in the film industry that has charged him from everything to sexual assault to outright rape. Why she didn't carry her fat ass over there and interview Harvey and then go talk to his alleged victims? And I don't think she is the right person to be interviewing anybody on sexual assault since she alleges that it had happened to her. Now, if you're going to be fair, then let's be fair. Go talk to Harvey. Let us hear what he got to say. He's still alive. He is still alive. But Michael Jackson is dead. It is sad when we let the industry, the music industry, the film industry, our jobs take us hostage and take our mind hostage. That we can no longer say what we really feel or what we believe for fear of repercussions. I'm going to lose my job. I'm going to lose this. I'm going to lose that. I'll be damned. I would be buried in my damn grave before I be your slave. I'm going to tell it like it is. I cannot respect Oprah for that. Anything that she says is an inexcusable excuse when it comes to that. Paris Jackson attempted suicide this past weekend because of the alleged allegations against her daddy. You can think any damn thing you want to think, but now proving it, now that's another story. That's another story. But we can't prove nothing, these guys said. We can't prove a damn thing. I mean, not nothing. We either believe or we don't. But Oprah is catering to a certain group. Oprah is catering to a certain group. But, and I doubt if she ever will see this, but if you're watching Oprah, let me tell you something. The white man don't need your damn help to make anybody in the black community look bad. They do a wonderful job of that them damn selves. Trust me, they do. Trust me, they do. They don't need your help for that. Don't forget where you've been. Don't forget where you've been, because at the twinkling of an eye, shit can change. I just had to vent. I'm through with that for now. Okay. R.Kelly is in trouble. The judge has agreed to let cameras roll during his trial. I totally disagree with that because I just think it's trying to just make him look like a clown. But it is what it is. It ain't what it ain't. With the exception of any alleged victim. If they don't want to be filmed, then of course they sign a piece of paper saying that you cannot film me, blase, blase, blase. Okay. But he returns to court Friday, the 22nd. And cameras will be rolling. I'm looking down at some of my notes here. The cameras will be rolling. I wanted to go back to day one. Day one is the day when R. Kelly was born. and look at then and how did we get here? How did we go from there? How did we get here? But before we do that, Jocelyn Savage allegedly confided in a friend. Now, y'all hear me good. You may have heard this and you may not. She confided in a friend, y'all. She said the first day she met R.Kelly, the very first day that she met R.Kelly, the year was 2015. I think she was 17 then, I think. R. Kelly's ex-employee, Sherry Mack, arranged a flight for Jocelyn Savage to get her to where R. Kelly was at. At that particular time, R. Kelly was in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Well, here's what Jocelyn Savage allegedly said to some friends. The very first night I met R. Kelly, things went bad. First of all, she says, when I arrived at the hotel, his assistant says, get out of all your clothes. Disrobe. Down to your underwear. Seriously, this is what she allegedly said. Walk up and down the room. Be walking up and down the room when he comes in. Okay, so she did that, right? Okay, she did it. When R. Kelly comes in, allegedly, he sexually assaults her right then and there. R. Kelly allegedly sexually assaults Jocelyn Savage the first time they met. The very first time they met. Well, if that happened, no, as I said before, Jocelyn Savage has never ever been brainwashed. If that happened, and she became his damn girlfriend, she's a fucking nut. She crazy. She crazy. She crazy. He sexually assaults you, and you develop a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship? Oh, goddamn, people. Come on with the jokes. Oh, my God. It makes no earthly damn sense. But it could have happened. And if it did, again, Jocelyn Savage is not brainwashed. She's a mental patient. She needs help. If that shit happened, she needs help. She really do. First of all, if they told you to strip and you strip, that was a problem right there with you. Why would you do it? Why would you allegedly, you went there because he was going to help you pursue your singing career. That's what you said. So, why would you have to get damn near buck naked? Well, buck naked because your panties ain't coming off anyway. Nothing but your panties. Why would you do that? It seems like you was excited your damn self. So, I'm not saying she said that. That's what a friend alleges she said. But I did hear a tape this morning with her talking to, I think it was a family member / vocal coach, where she says that R. Kelly was upset with her because she told her parents about their sexual encounter. And he pressured her to say that she was lying. Not to mention, he gave her herpes. Now, the lady that she's speaking with over the phone, you can hear the disappointment. You can hear the anger in her voice. We shared that on the Injustice Investigations Facebook page. That's on there right now. You can listen to it. Now, when I'm listening to it, here's what I hear. I hear a woman that has helped her and maybe her parents out in plotting this thing together. Because she's very disappointed. You shouldn't have told Kelly that. No. It's a money thing. She's disappointed that Joyce, that she calls her Joy, would tell R. Kelly that, and he was upset. So when I'm listening to the lady, I'm like, this sounds like a damn trap from day one. That's what it sounds like to me. You know, but of course I've been doing this for some years now, so I see things the way some people don't see them. It doesn't mean I'm right. It's just my perception of certain things, you know, because I'm at a point now with Jocelyn Savage. I don't know what to believe when it comes to her. I mean, 1 minute on national TV, she says he never did anything wrong to her. She loves him. The parents did this. It wasn't R. Kelly. Now we come back and I hear her say, yo, he was upset, blase, blase, blase. And then allegedly you told your friend that he sexually assaulted you the same night, but y'all still developed a relationship together. Don't make any goddamn sense. Don't make any goddamn sense. And I believe that story, like I believe the Grand Wizard of the Ku Klux Klan has a dream of his white daughter saying I do to a black man. Y'all know that shit's not happening. Now, let's look at this. Y'all have seen this before, I know. Y'all have seen one of these. Yeah. It's a VHS tape. Bing. Well, I'm going to tell you something, and you may agree with it and you may not, but it may not be as easy as you think for the state to convict R. Kelly from evidence on a VHS tape. For one, it says that, this is what an expert said. He said, VHS tapes do not have reliable time stamps. So, pinpointing when and where they were produced is always a challenge. It's always a challenge. Now, if these tapes are copies of copies of copies of copies of copies of copies, throw them out. Can't use them. You can't. Do you know how much damage could have been done to those by now? I mean, some of these tapes was put online and was sold. You could buy them in front of your average neighborhood store. Guys sitting out there. R. Kelly, Triple X, watching pee on a girl. That was one of the issues back in 2002, where they dragged this thing out until 2008, and Kelly was finally brought to justice. And I'm going ahead of myself because I don't want to get there just yet. But I wanted to make you aware of that. It may not be as easy as you think it is to convict R. Kelly because of the VHS tapes. Now, with the VHS tape that was found in Pennsylvania, from, I think his name is Dennis Gary or something to that extent. He allegedly found a box of tapes in his home. He don't know how the box got there, but it had cassettes in it and VHS tapes. He's not a friend of R. Kelly's, but on the VHS it had R. Kelly written on it. So he popped it in to watch R. Kelly perform, but he's not an R. Kelly fan, but he popped it in to see R. Kelly perform. He saw R. Kelly perform, but it wasn't on stage. It was doing a sexual act. But was it R. Kelly? Was it R. Kelly? He says, I cannot be for sure it was R. Kelly. Well, high-profile attorney Gloria was asked the same question by reporters. She says, her exact words, we cannot be 100% certain that that's R. Kelly. Well, if you cannot be 100% certain that that's R. Kelly, I understand you taking it to the police to let them, decide. But if you're not 100% certain that is R. Kelly on that tape with that underage girl, why in the hell are you holding a press conference? And you didn't coach this guy good because he says he don't know how the box got into his house. We're not buying that bullshit. I know what he's going to say. Well, we had just recently moved in there. Oh, we've been in there for a while, but we never went up there. We never went down there. These tapes are popping up like candy. And because someone is having sex and looks to be 14, 15, or 16, she says, I'm 14. Does that necessarily mean she's 14? No, it doesn't. It doesn't mean that at all. It does not. The burden of proof is on the state to prove that this is an underage girl, and this is R. Kelly or somebody that has a close resemblance to him. And if that's what you derive at, you can't convict. You can't convict on, he has a close resemblance to him. That don't work in the court of law. It better be R. Kelly. It can't be 99.9% R. Kelly. It better be R. Kelly. Now, I'm thinking, he hadn't said, but R. Kelly's attorney, Greenberg, said, that's not R. Kelly. So with him saying that, I'm assuming that he has looked at that tape and realized that that's not R. Kelly. Now, again, it's not that I'm condoning anything that R. Kelly has been accused of doing, but I try to look at both sides. I want to be fair. I don't want to tell you what could happen and what could not happen in the courtroom. Kelly, DNA was found in semen on one of his accuser's shirt. Kelly's DNA was found in semen on one of the alleged victim's shirt. Okay, so what? How do we know it's her shirt? How we know he didn't jack off and somebody put it in a cup, took it to her, throw that on there. This may sound super stupid what I'm saying, but when you watch the trial, you'll see things like this come up. Because you have to discount every imaginable thought to try to get to the truth. It's just like when a woman's husband is killed. She's there, the children are there. Before you look for anybody outside, you got to get them out the way right now. Let's get them on out the way so we can go and look for the real suspect. All right? So that's just something that you might want to look out for, because it's going to come up. But allegedly, it's R. Kelly's semen on one of the alleged victims' shirt. Now, R. Kelly was born in January 1967. He was born Robert Sylvester Kelly in Chicago. Incidentally, R. Kelly's mother, Joanne Kelly, was a school teacher, and he is the third of 4 children. And R. Kelly himself also has 3 kids. I don't get off into R. Kelly kids a lot because they don't have anything to do with this, and I don't like to drag people's children into drama such as this, So they've been keeping them somewhat pretty hid, and I'm going to do the same thing as well. Although his daughter is speaking out more now about the alleged allegations against her father. In 1984, R. Kelly teacher, places him in a talent show. And in that talent show, R. Kelly sings a song by Stevie Wonder, Ribbon in the Sky. And he gets a standing ovation for singing that. In 1990, a music executive, Wayne Williams of Jive Records, discovers R. Kelly singing at a barbecue. So R. Kelly's career has just got started. In 1992, R. Kelly and Public Announcement comes on the scene. A year later, their album goes platinum. In November of 1993, 12 Play was released, selling more than 5 million copies. On January in 1992, R. Kelly was then 25 years old. He releases his debut solo album, Born into the 90s. Now watch this. She's Got That Vibe was a hit. Honey Love was a hit. Now, if you play the song She's Got That Vibe, here's what you're going to hear. She's got that vibe. She's got that vibe. Little, cute Aaliyah. Got it. Little, cute Aaliyah. Got it. She got what, R. Kelly? She got that vibe. Aaliyah was 12 years old at the time. Just thought I'd put that out there. Now, Lisa, do I have her name right? Lisa Ann. I think her name is Lisa Ann. I just pulled it. She was one of the accusers. Lisa Van Allen is one of R. Kelly's accusers, and she has since written a book about what R. Kelly did to her. And this is the same female that alleges R. Kelly confided in her and told her not only was he having sex with Aaliyah, but when he was spending the night at Aaliyah's mother's home in Detroit, that once Aaliyah goes to sleep, he would get out of the bed and go in the living room and get on the sofa and have sexual relationships with her mother, because Aaliyah's mother was sexually attracted to R. Kelly. Allegedly, this is what Lisa is saying. And I don't know how much truth that we could really hold to that, because this woman is writing a book, has written a book. And to get you to buy that damn book, she may put anything in it, or may say anything right about now. So that's kind of a red flag to me. Now, in 2000, R. Kelly don't know it, the year 2000, a reporter in Chicago is investigating R. Kelly. R. Kelly don't know it, because someone sent some information to this reporter about R. Kelly allegedly having sex with underage girls. Again, R. Kelly don't know that he's being investigated by this reporter. In 2002, R. Kelly is arrested because of a 27-minute tape. It shows a man having sex with a young female. That man gives the young female some cash. She accepts it, and all she says is thank you. She calls him daddy. He urinates on her. The man who leans over to adjust the camera appears to be R. Kelly, or someone with a striking resemblance of him. 5 months later, Kelly is charged with the child pornography. A tape is sent to the Chicago Sun-Times, to that same reporter. That tape was sent unanimously. In November 1993, we're going to go back for a minute, Kelly released the 12 play, which includes Bump and Grind and Your Body's Calling. In August of 1994, Kelly then was 27 years old. He marries a 15-year-old child. I'm sure you know who she is by now. Her name is Aaliyah. Falsified the documents to legally marry her. A year later, that marriage was annulled. In 1996, Kelly says I do to dancer Andrea Lee. In December of 1996, here we go. Tiffany Hawkins says Kelly allegedly that the two of them had sex when she was only 15 years old. That was his first suit. Now in 2000, that's when the reporter comes back in and he published the first report on R. Kelly, saying that R. Kelly has been having sex with underage girls. The Chicago Police Department had 2 investigations going on pertaining to R. Kelly having inappropriate relationships with underage girls. They would later drop those, basically for lack of evidence. In 2001, Tracy Sampson, an aspiring rapper, filed a lawsuit against R. Kelly. When she was 17 years old, she said they began having sex. In 2002, for the second time, once again, he is being investigated for the same charges. A sex tape was sent unanimously to the police department and to the Chicago Times. 2002 of March, bootleg copies of R. Kelly's tape was sent to the reporter. Again, those The majority of those tapes were sold online. Now, Patricia Jones, in April of 2002, sues R. Kelly. We started having sex when I was 16 years old. R. Kelly impregnates me, and he pressures me to terminating my pregnancy, in which I did. She sues R. Kelly, and it was later settled out of court for an undisclosed amount. In May 2002, McKeel Woods, a dancer, says that Kelly secretly taped their sexual encounters and gave them to his brothers and other males to also sell. And she sued him for that. He, again, settled out of court for an undisclosed amount of money. In June of 2002, Kelly is arrested and indicted on 21 counts of child pornography. They found Kelly at one of his vacation homes in Florida. He was arrested. He made a $750,000 bond. September 2005, Andrea files a restraining order against R. Kelly, alleging he hits her, but she later drops that, and of course they filed for divorce. It's a long list. In May of 2008, the 2002 case finally gets inside of a courtroom. Now remember, 21 count indictment. Once it finally reaches the courtroom, it drops to 14 indictments. In June 2008, a decision is made pertaining to R. Kelly and the 14 indictments. You already know what happened. They found him not guilty. Keep in mind now, just because a person is found not guilty does not necessarily mean they're innocent. It just may not have been enough evidence there to prosecute, or maybe somebody didn't testify or what have you. So I'm not saying that he was guilty, but we just want to throw some things out there. January of 2009, the divorce between him and Andrea is finalized. December 2015, Kelly walks out of an interview when the reporter begins to bring up the past allegations of him having sex with underage girls. In July 2017, BuzzFeed published a report titled "Inside the Pied Piper of R&B Code, R. Kelly." Women alleged that they was held against their will at R. Kelly's house. In July 2017, the Mute R. Kelly campaign kicks off. August 2017, Miss Page talks about living with Kelly in 2009 when she was 15 years old. That's when him and her started having sex. In 2018 of May, Faith Rogers filed a lawsuit. Simple battery, verbal, mentally, physical, and sexual abuse she claimed she endured from the self-proclaimed Pied Piper himself, R. Kelly. Now finally, I rushed that through so we can get to 2019. The documentary, Lifetime, Surviving R. Kelly, woke everything back up. Woke everything back up. And R. Kelly suffers from anxiety attacks. And lately he's been having them back to back because of what's going on. Shortly after Surviving R. Kelly was aired, the Cook County State Attorney's Office held a press conference, which I don't think she should have did. But she did. I think it's Kim Fox, asking for any alleged victims to come forth because she couldn't prosecute if you didn't come to her. I guess she didn't do anything illegal, but I just don't think she should have went about it that way. If somebody has something or if something has happened to them, I'm sure by now they know to come. So I just wasn't in agreement with that. But nevertheless, who the hell am I? I'm just somebody running his damn mouth and stuff, But that has opened up a can of worms on R. Kelly because tapes are popping up from everywhere now. For the past 2 weeks, we've got, I think, one tape every week. One tape a week. And we got a whole lot of more things to discuss with you on R. Kelly about right now, and some of the things that some women allege that R. Kelly did. R. Kelly says, I'm a blessing and I'm a curse. He said that in an interview, I think it was with Travis Smiley. But then he also said it in the song, I Admit. So I'm wondering, and I'm going to ask you all, what do you think R. Kelly meant when he said, I'm a blessing and a curse? What does he mean? He says, I'm a blessing and a curse. R. Kelly's publicist and crisis manager, Daryl Johnson, says the singer spends his days singing gospel and looking out the window at McDonald's. Give me 1 minute. I love tea. I don't think he should have said that. It's like it's a bunch of damn dummies. And I said that because that is the alleged place where R. Kelly had met a lot of his alleged victims. But he says it's not that. That's the last memory he had of him and his mother. So I'm assuming they went there to eat before she died. But I don't think I would. If I was his crisis manager, even if he's doing that, I wouldn't have told you he's sitting out in the damn window looking at McDonald's talking about the M stands for mom. That's bullshit. The M stands for Mickey D's. You know. But there's allegedly a suicide pact that they are investigating to see if that is real, because a few days ago, someone called the police and said that the 2 girls that lives with R. Kelly, I think along with 4 more girls, per R. Kelly, has agreed to kill themselves if anything goes wrong. So the police showed up and they investigated. They surrounded Trump Towers. They went in and had checked everything out. Everything was fine. But now, because everything is fine, it doesn't mean that they really hadn't came into that kind of agreement. So it got me to thinking, maybe the caller was right. Maybe they knew that it wasn't going down, but they are hoping that they begin to watch them more, because it's very well possible. One girl says, I think it's Dominique, she says that she has a tattoo of R. Kelly on her neck and her leg or something like that, of his face that he made her get. That's the real pretty girl that was always trouble for R. Kelly, because she would talk back. She would disobey R. Kelly. And for disobeying R. Kelly, her punishment was no food. She would get beat. She would get slapped. She would get locked into a room. And she still wouldn't break. So he made her cut all her hair off and made her start dressing like a boy with the cap, the male tennis shoes and all that. So that was part of her punishment from disobeying the self-proclaimed Pied Piper himself. I don't agree with that. That was some of her punishment. Yeah, it was. It was. But this is what I think. So not document what I think. I don't give a damn how upset I am with my woman. If she's not doing what I want her to do or ask her to do, I'm not going to tell her to go fix herself up like a damn man. I don't want to be laying in the damn bed with her, and I'm a man, then I'm looking at her, and she's looking like a damn man. I can't get off on that. So why would R. Kelly do it? Because he's bisexual. I said it. He's bisexual. That's why he had her to do that. He's bisexual. Tomorrow, be the Lord willing, I'm in trouble again because I'm 10 minutes over. We're going to get off into some more things to take down of R. Kelly. This wasn't one of those A-man shows, because we had to go ahead and get this out the way from the time he was born until how we got here. And so maybe tomorrow we'll have you one of those hallelujah shows and stuff. But this was a day that we wanted you all to listen to some things that you may not have heard of, to understand why we are at this point and why it may not be as easy to convict R. Kelly as people would like for it to be, or thinking that it will be. I'm not saying there's not going to be conviction. But I believe in laying everything out so that you, the viewers, decide what you think may happen inside the courtroom. It all kicks off this Friday in Chicago, Illinois. I am, Shirley Chapman said, what? What is your what for, Shirley, before we go off air? So, yeah, again, Friday, the 22nd is when Kelly enters back into a courtroom to face the 10-count indictment of having sex with underage girls. And the parents need to be investigated, too. This is Cynthia Townsend. Cynthia Townsend, I thank you for your comment from the first day I started covering this story. That's exactly what I said. And they've called me everything but the name on my damn birth certificate. And now other news outlets are saying the same thing. The parents needs to be investigated too, because let me tell you something. I agree totally with that, because this went on for almost 30 years. This is nothing new. This is nothing new. This is nothing new. This is nothing new. He is a bisexual. Yeah, that's me. That's not documented. That's the way I'm looking at it. It doesn't mean I'm right. It's not written in stone. It's just the way I see it. That's not a fact. That's just my opinion, okay? Shh. That is not a fact. I'm not trying to pass my opinion off as a fact. That's just the way I see it. But, forgot what I was saying, you know. But, yeah, the parents needs to be investigated, because this went on for almost 30 years. And nobody said anything. Not only does the parents need to be investigated, the music industry must be investigated as well. Because remember, this time now, R. Kelly was hotter than a damn firecracker. And I'd be damned if we let the self-proclaimed Pied Piper himself go to jail. So you don't air this and you don't air that. We'll give you this and we'll pay you that, and it's all over with. Because we need him, because he's making us richer and richer. So by any means necessary, pay the damn bill, get the charges dismissed, and let's get on with life. But now it's a different story. It's a different ball game. It's a different season. And I believe the outcome is going to be totally different this time. Do I want R. Kelly to go to jail? If R. Kelly is innocent, no, I don't want him to go to jail. If R. Kelly has broken any laws pertaining to kids, yes, he must go to jail. But here's what we must also want. Not only should R. Kelly go to jail, his managers have to go to jail. He has an ex-assistant that said that he would carry a duffel bag around to the recording studios, to the gym or hotels, whatever, and it was full of VHS tapes with him having sex with underage girls on it. Well, the only way she would know that, she had to have looked at the damn tapes a time or two, okay? Arrest her ass too, because that's child pornography you're looking at. Hello, Tabitha Wall. Hey. Hi, Tab. Her life. Yeah, okay. So, if she knew that was child pornography, she should have said something. But since she didn't, she also must be investigated. Cynthia says some of the women are lying too. Oh, I totally agree with you, Townsend. Ms. Townsend. I totally agree with you, because I was believing a lot of what Jocelyn Savage had been saying, but then when I heard this tape this morning, and then when the email says that she allegedly confided in some friends, I'm like, okay, I don't know what the hell to believe now with her. So here's the way the courts look at it. Okay, you know what? She's not a reliable witness. We can't believe a damn thing she said, because she'll go whichever way the damn wind is blowing. But now watch this here. Watch this before we go. She and the other girl, Azariah, don't want to do what I call the walk of shame. The walk of shame. So what's the walk of shame? When R. Kelly goes to jail, they have nowhere to go. I don't even think they have damn jobs. So if R. Kelly goes to prison, they have to go back to family. And it's going to be an embarrassing time for them. So God forbid that they have to do the walk of shame. So say whatever is necessary to keep R. Kelly free so that we can stay here, girl. Because it's going to be embarrassing. So, yes, everybody is lying to some degree. And everybody's telling the truth to some degree. But the two women that live with him now, Right now, they have the most to lose because it's going to be embarrassing that you had to go back because you don't have shit now. And if a guy wants one of them, it's only for sex because you know they freaking. You know they two women do it together. That's it. So they're looking at these two. They're just good for laying on their damn back. You may not like what I'm saying, but you feel me just the same. They would have nothing if R. Kelly goes to prison. Jocelyn Savage parents, crooks and pimps. Crooks and pimps. I believe that. They pimped that daughter out to R. Kelly. I raise my right hand to God. I go to my great sin. They pimped their daughter out to the highest bidder. And at that particular time, the highest bidder was the self-proclaimed Pied Piper himself, Robert Sylvester Kelly. You know him as R. Kelly. And he paid. He paid him, and he paid him well. They must be investigated. They stand in front of the cameras because they want you to think that they really love their daughter. I'm not saying they don't love their daughter. But here's what I am saying. They don't deserve the damn title parents because they pimped the child out for the almighty dollar. Cynthia Townsend says, I have a feeling I don't think he's going to jail. Okay, well, you might be right because remember now what we said earlier. This is evidence, right? It is. But they don't have a reliable time-stamped date on them, which makes it extremely hard to pinpoint when and where it was made. And if it's a copy of a copy of a copy of a copy of a copy, you know what the court says? Throw it out, dismiss, can't use it. Be it the Lord willing. And the creek don't rise. And Tony Braxton, don't call me to come on home. We're back tomorrow at 12:30. Thank you all, as always, for tuning in. You could tell the fathers. Oh, yes, exactly. Yeah. I mean, when I was in college, I studied psychology and all that stuff. And we dealt with body language, And so when I'm talking to somebody or when I'm looking at somebody speak, I'm watching their body language. And the body language tells the story that the mouth won't tell. The body language is what we have to watch for. And he was lying through his damn teeth. Somebody put a picture up and said that the mother lied and said she never met R. Kelly. That's not true. The mother never said that. The daddy said that he never met R. Kelly. The mother never said that. She can't say that unless she's just super damn stupid because we got pictures of her and R. Kelly together. But the daddy said that, not the mother. All right. Listen, I thank you all for tuning in. Be it the Lord willing and the creek don't rise. We'll do it again tomorrow. The same time, 12:30. Until then, I'm Al Scott. Remember, I'm not always right and you are not always wrong. We'll see you tomorrow.